Yeah, talk about it.
Recently, I heard a quote that made me think. C. Joy Bell said, "There is no such thing as a broken family. Family is family, and is not determined by marriage certificates, divorce papers, or adoption certificates. Families are made in the heart." And with my experience, I had found out that to be true. When I was in 6th grade, I thought that my life had changed forever. My parents had just decided to get a divorce. When my parents had me, they were young. So I always thought that my parents were cool because they were much younger than my friends' parents. I hated the fact that my parents were going through a divorce, and I thought I had no one that knew what I was going through besides myself. Because my parents were so young, I was their only child, so I had no siblings to experience the divorce with. I can remember sitting in my 6th grade class, and I just ran out one day and broke down in tears. I had been strong up until that day about the divorce. My teacher had sent my childhood best friend out to see if I was okay. Little did I know my best friend was going through the exact same thing I was experiencing. Her parents were getting a divorce too. So we sat and we just cried together in the bathroom. My friend and I started going to Banana Split, which was a support group for children going through divorces. It was an outlet for us to discuss questions and concerns about the divorce we were experiencing. Having support helped me cope, but not as much as I expected it to. Eventually, my mom got a boyfriend, my dad got a girlfriend. My mom's boyfriend had 2 sons and 1 daughter, and my dad's girlfriend had 2 daughters. I was a very spoiled only child, and I was having a really hard time with all these new people in my life. I did not like the fact that I had to share my house, my parents, my toys, my everything, with at that point somewhat strangers to me. At that point, I then started to act up. My grades started slipping, and I started lying to my parents. I would play one parent against each other just to get my own way. I'd be grounded at one parent's house, and then make up some story to the other, just so I wouldn't end up grounded at the other parent's house. For a while, it worked until both my parents caught on, and it quickly backfired on me. They both started teaming together to ground me at the same time. I ended up being grounded more than having a social life. I would try to run away, and I never wanted to be around my parents at all. I blamed them for everything that went wrong in my life, even though realistically it wasn't their fault at all. They tried to be there for me, even when they were both struggling just the same as I was, just I didn't know it. Throughout the years, I got over it, and I would rather my parents be divorced than together and miserable. Today, almost 10 years later, I have a 5-year-old niece and a nephew on the way, which I wouldn't have if I stayed an only child with my parents together and not divorced. I have a close bond with all my step-siblings, and I wouldn't know where I'd be without the support of my parents and my step-parents both. Joy Bell was correct with how families aren't determined by certificates or blood, because I have a family that was made in the heart.